Hello friends, Laura Whitfield here, your independent Scentsy consultant with Laura's Aroma Retreat. And after a bit of a hiatus, unexpected hiatus, I might add, I am back. So some of you, I do know are on like my personal page or my VIP group, and you may already know this, but we had a bit of a surprise emergency hospitalization for my husband last week, which kind of threw our entire, I've got lots of fuzzies all over me, kind of threw our entire world upside down for a little bit. So James has been having like on and off stomach issues for probably about a year now, and he's talked to the VA about it. He's talked to who is now not our primary care physician about it on a couple of different occasions, and he had actually had one other trip to the emergency room for the stomach pain, and everybody just kept writing him off and writing him off and writing him off. And for the most part, like it's just kind of come and gone, but it has never been quite so excruciating as it was last week. So he did go to our primary care during his days off, so Monday, Tuesday, right? And he talked to her about it again, or she's no longer going to be our primary care, and she again kind of wrote it off and was like, okay, well, let's do a stress test and let's do this and let's do that. And he ended up coming home Wednesday after work and he just doubled over. So it scared the ever-living daylights out of me. It scared the ever-living daylights out of the kids. And, he had gotten a referral to a gastro doctor, but they couldn't get him in until January. So, fast forward to a couple of days later, just in case or whatever, and he did double over. So I called around to all of our local area hospitals, and this fuzz is like bugging the crap out of me. Called around to all of our local area hospitals and found one who had an emergency gastro on staff. So he is doing absolutely fine. We do now have the proper medical team for him, but what they found out was that he actually has 3 stomach ulcers, one of which they call a crater ulcer that is in the pit of his stomach, and the ibuprofen-based medication that they gave him at the doctor's visit just like tore him to shreds. So hence the severe escalation in such a short period of time, from having like mild, annoying, slightly painful stomach discomfort to not even being able to stand. So it was a bit of a ride. It took us, he was in the hospital for 2.5 days. And then we got out and I went right into October stroll. So I actually missed the first day of the stroll. I mean, fortunately, the organizer lady is one of the kindest, most wonderful people on the entire planet, and she still let me come and finish out the weekend. But I feel like I've been playing catch up all week and that I'm super behind on things, and I'm definitely super behind on my empties basket. So, oh my goodness, you guys, I think it's been about 3, maybe even a full month since I've done empties. So back at the beginning of, what was it? So I can't even think of my months right now. Back at the beginning of September, we were kind of having some warm spells. I was running like a crazy person, and I was forgetting to change my wax, which normally doesn't happen, but it's been a crazy ride this month. So I am finally getting my empties basket because it is literally overflowing at this point. I literally cannot add even one more bar to this. In fact, I have the bars from today are sitting on my workbench, but they'll go into the next segment because they don't, let's be honest, they don't fit in here. So we will start out with the laundry system that we completed in Amazon Rain. And I'm not impressed. Like, I was so excited when I opened these whiffs. And it still smells like, it smells amazing in this tub, in laundry. It is a super poor performer. Like, I get almost nothing out of this. Dryer discs, I mean, like, I use everything all together in the same fragrance. Well, I get. And I just got nothing out of it. Like, there was almost barely any fragrance whatsoever on our clothes. it made me really sad because I thought I was going to be like super in love with this. I had heard that Amazon Rain is a really good performer in laundry. It did not do it for me. So I will not be repurchasing Amazon Rain in laundry. I did, however, pick up Pink Cotton. So that is the next scent we will be going over is Pink Cotton, and we'll see how that does. Now, I do understand that Pink Cotton is a bit of a light performer in laundry, but it's got to do better than Amazon Rain. It just does. Because, like, there was, like, nothing. Like, it didn't even come out smelling clean. I mean, it came out smelling clean, let's be honest. But, like, just water clean, not, like, super fragrance clean. By far, the two best performing in laundry still that I've had are Jammy Time and Black Raspberry Vanilla. Those have done amazing in laundry. Amazon Rain, not so much. Okay, so let's get to this situation, and I'm not going to go in any particular order other than the top down. So we will just get through this together. So let's talk roll of the dice. And somewhere in here there is a mix for this. So roll of the dice. It's fabulous on cold. It's like citrus and balsam. Warming, not so much. I want to be in love with this bar. I was like super crazy excited for this. Like I went way over the top, ordered 4 bars of this right out of the gate. And it just like, this is overwhelming, soapy, like take over your whole house thing that this does. And it is not, it's not pleasant at all. I'm really sad about that. I had some seriously high hopes for Roll the Dice, and by itself, it's terrible. Now, I did mix it with something, and I'm trying to see if it's at the top. It might not be. Things fell over. Oh, there it is. Okay, so things fell over when I was getting it down, so I had to restack. I did end up mixing it with Fairy Tale Pumpkin. So, Fairy Tale Pumpkin, I do somewhere have bars of it on its own. This is a really unique scent. Like, I do not get any pumpkin out of this. It literally smells like straight craft store to me. All I get is like walking into Hobby Lobby at Christmas time. I don't feel fall about this at all. I don't hate this bar, but I don't love this bar either. Like, I will use what I have, but I'm not insanely crazy about it. Now, I had put this bar into the front room to kind of do some testing, see how it does, see how it smells. And I had Roll of the Dice still in the back room. I hadn't cleaned out the warmers in the big room. And when I was sucking both of the waxes up on the cotton cleanup, and they were paired together, because I will say this, Roll of the Dice lasts for days. And once you get through like 2 days of it, it's actually much more pleasant. But they do something magical together. So Fairy Tale Pumpkin mixed with Roll of the Dice is a really neat combination. Like I said, this has got balsam in it. And this has got, I think, just enough spice to maybe tone down that citrus that doesn't pair well with the balsam very well. But like, I feel Christmas to be out with this bar. It really smells like a Christmas scent to me and not a fall scent. And I know that sounds crazy, but it does. It smells like a Christmas craft store to me. So when you mixed the Fairy Tale Pumpkin with Roll of the Dice, it was a pleasant combination. I still wouldn't say it's like I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I have to do that again. I have to, smell that again. But it was really nice. It did go together good. And I did mix 1 cube to 1 cube in the same warmer because I definitely wanted that spice to drown out some of that citrus, because once the citrus got going, it was just not good. I did do a bar of Jack's Obsession when it came in. This is a really nice, like, green cinnamon apple. And the tartness of the green apple balances out that spice for me very nicely. I do like this one. I don't like apple and cinnamon sticks whatsoever, but I do like Jack's Obsession. It's like the perfect combination. You get that really like tart, almost kind of like sour green apple note, and it brings down that cinnamon for me to a really good level. Oogie Boogie. got through a bar of Halloween Town. This is actually from last year's, and like when we were getting ready to do it, and like they were coming back out and I knew I could order them. I'm like, okay, I'm safe to do this. And then I will be using the holographic clamshell to make just some sort of collage. Like I've decided that I'm not gonna like hoard these bars because at some point they're gonna get gooey and yucky. But I think I'm gonna take just the top of the clamshell, and I believe it's Anna Nation who gave me this idea to just make like a shadow box with some of these really cool clamshell covers because I love the clamshell, but you know, I don't need to waste the wax. I mean, I'm sure there's a black market for Scentsy, but I'm not part of it. So I'm just going to use the wax I've got and then do something fun with the collectible clamshells. Okay, what do we got here? We have some pods in sugared strawberry. I think these ones came out of the car. I don't know why I do that with pods. Like there's no fragrance oil whatsoever in the clam, but sugared strawberry is one of my absolute favorite ones. I have updated to a fall fragrance in the van finally at last. Hallelujah. I did put in Bright Cider Life, but like I was having trouble letting go of my beautiful sugared strawberry. It's like, it's one of my absolute all-time favorite pods. And we've still stayed warm. Like it's going to be 80 degrees tomorrow here. It's insane. So I'm okay with still a little bit of summery mixed in, but really like I did that before my fall pods came in. So let's see. We of course had our first day of fall bar. This, you guys, this is just a really beautiful classic fall fragrance. It's like walking out into the woods on a nature trail just as the leaves are starting to turn. Oh, I love first day of fall. It is one of my favorite bars. I know it seems probably kind of basic, but it's beautiful. So I did do a combination the other day in alternating warmers of black raspberry vanilla and vanilla blackberry. The only reason really that I did a combination is because I had only one bar left of the vanilla blackberry. And I really, really love this bar. Like I love the tartness and the zing that this has to it. But I only had one, and my warmer collection is insane. And you know, one bar is not enough to fill my main level of the house by any stretch of the imagination. So I figured it would obviously pair well with black raspberry vanilla. I did do these 1 cube to 1 cube in alternating warmers because I didn't want to drown out the tartness of the vanilla blackberry that I'm so absolutely in love with. I wanted to keep it at its full strength. And black raspberry vanilla did very, very well. So like I really appreciate black raspberry vanilla more in the laundry than I do in the wax, because the wax doesn't last very long with me. It's kind of like a one day and done, which you know doesn't necessarily bother me because I get bored and I like to change it up a lot. But you know, it was nice. It complemented it well. It did go very well with the vanilla blackberry. Let's see. I would have 2 bars of snow-kissed cranberry in here, but James was helping me fill warmers, so I have 3 cubes left in another bar, and that it drives me insane to just like have partially used bars. I don't know why. It's like an OCD of mine, but we did have snow-kissed cranberry going in the whole house. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so nice. I think I will probably put snow-kissed cranberry upstairs next time, but why? Why did we retire this? This is terrible. We should not have retired this bar. It's so good. And then I do have all of my sister's bars that I got for her as well. I just have to get over to her house and drop them off. So I did an odd combination in the bedroom, and this was like the partial used bars. I tried, because I was just trying to like kill the rest of the bar of Palo Santo, I'm going to be honest with you, because while I love it, on cold, it's like an old school, like woodsy incense for me. I can't smell it. No matter how, like I could put 4 cubes in 1 warmer and it just, like I get nothing out of it warmed. Like on cold, this is beautiful. This clamshell smells beautiful to me. I get nothing. So on a whim, I paired it with lavender and white balsam. So I love the lavender and white balsam, and I figured like the woodsy would match well it still doesn't come through. Like it still didn't come through for me. I could smell the lavender and white balsam just fine. And maybe it enhanced that woodsy note just a little bit, but it didn't make it into anything new. It wasn't anything significant. It's okay. Like I said, I was just trying to kill the bar at that point because I gave Palo Santo a really like a good solid effort, a good like 3-bar try. And there's nothing. Okay, so here's my pot of sugared strawberry. And what I like, the reason that the thing is around here, what I like to do with my mini fan diffusers in the car, because, you know, the kids get into everything and sometimes I take the dog places and, you know, my cup holder gets knocked or it has to get picked up and moved if James is in the car because his drink has to have a cup holder and all of that good stuff. Like, it's still fate. I would love to see them bring this pod to the catalog full time in the summer. I don't think they will because the pods ended up in clearance, but I would buy more pods of this. Like, I super stock. I still have pods of this. I think I still have like 4, but oh, I love it so much. But I peel off the sticker on it, and so when it's sitting in my mini fan diffuser, I just use the sticker to kind of tape it down so that when I'm moving it around, this doesn't just fall out all the time. So love sugared strawberry. Been through a lot of that. You've heard it before. No surprise here. We did do a bar of cranberry garland up in our bedroom. So like when the clearance stuff came in, and I know it's totally not Christmas, snow-kissed cranberry garland. Like, I just haven't smelled them in over like a year, and I wanted to smell them again. Cranberry garland, I don't think I will put this upstairs again because I feel like I wasted the bar. I was like not upstairs at all during the day, and I'm like, I just like, I can't get any more. What am I doing? Why am I wasting it upstairs? I love this. I love this so much. It's so good. I need more cranberry. They need to bring back all the cranberry. They really just, give me back my cranberry, please. Okay. So yesterday, I've been sitting on this bar of painted leaves, and as you can see, it's gotten gooey, right? And it smells like wet leaves. It smells like wet, soggy leaves after they've come off the tree and it's rained for days. And you're like, when you're raking them up and you get like that soggy part underneath, that's exactly what this smells like. So I've been afraid to melt this bar, but it was like, it sounds crazy because it's going to be 80 tomorrow, but it was nice and cold and cool yesterday. And I'm like, I can open my windows. Let's pop this in and give it a try. This did not make my club, and I'm not surprised it didn't make my, it does. It smells like wet, soggy leaves. I tried to balance that out with cider mill. And cider mill just got completely drowned out by the soggy leaf smell. So cider mill is lovely. I mean, and if I got close enough to the warmer with cider mill in it, it would I could smell the cider mill more than the painted leaves, but we're not doing so good at the beginning of this, you guys. I'm looking at this going, I said I didn't like this. I said I didn't like that. I mean, you win some, you lose some, I guess, but okay. Oh, here's some non-wax. So the last fragrance, no shocking surprise. The last summer fragrance that I had in the car before officially switching over to fall was my beloved Mahalo Coconut. I have a full system essentially going here in Mahalo Coconut. So I have the scent pack. It's really faint. Like, I can just get a little bit out of it, but it doesn't smell like Mahalo Coconut to me anymore per se. And then I have the pods. There's probably another pod somewhere hiding down there. And I did put the sticker back on this. I'm not going to do that going forward. I'm just going to wrap them around because that was so much easier with the other one. I love Mahalo Coconut. And I did put in the car bar clips. So this was my first shot at using the car bar clips. I will tell you this, I was using both of them on the fan vents, and they are an amazing, amazing performer. Especially when you've got 2 of them going and the air is blowing on it. These don't really smell like anything anymore. But I will say that the pair of these only lasted me about 2 weeks, where I normally get like a solid month out of a car bar. I think maybe this twin pack, you're meant to use one at a time instead of two. I mean, like if you really want super, super strong fragrance, definitely do the two. You can put one on each side, like one on each side of the vents in the car. But you go through it a lot quicker. And I think that has to do with the air like blowing directly onto the bar, and it dispersing the fragrance that way. So I think when I pick up another set of car bar clips, I will probably only like peel back enough to take the one out and put that just in the center. And that way I can get a full like month out of a twin pack, because like I said, the air blowing directly on it really killed it super fast for me. And that made me very sad. So, you know, but it did perform amazing being on the vent compared to just our regular car bars. Okay. And these have been sitting in the van for quite some time. Bonfire Beach. I was cleaning out the van the other day and I found used Bonfire Beach like sitting, like I must have taken them out and put them back in their clamshell, and I set them down in the door, probably thinking like, oh, I'll remember to grab those when I get out. This might be 2 months ago. I mean, they still have a little bit of faint smell, but it really wasn't doing it for me in the car anymore. Or did these come? Maybe these didn't come out of the car, now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe the pod twin pack with Bonfire Beach is still sitting in my car, now that I'm thinking about it. I think these came out of the bathroom. I think this was the pods from my borrow bag. So they didn't have a whole lot of life left in them anyways, because I'm not seeing the clamshell for them, which means these probably came out of the bathroom. But they've got like very, very faint fragrance, but it just wasn't doing anything. And I think these came out of one of my borrow bags, now that I think about it. So I do always put a set of pods in my borrow bags, but obviously as I was doing my switch out from spring and summer to fall fragrances, I just kind of set these aside on my desk so that I knew to use up the rest of them, but they had already been mostly used for being in the bag for so long. But I digress. I'm like getting off on a total tangent here. Definitely bathroom. Now I remember, because I look down and I see the Farm Stand Pumpkin pod pack, which is what's in the bathroom now. And normally these do not have any scent, but this one actually does, because you can see kind of like where the fragrance oil got absorbed into the plastic. This is so good. Farm Stand Pumpkin is a really, really good pumpkin scent that's not drowned out in spice for me. And it's got just like this little, it's almost got like a caramel, like a caramelized brown sugar on your stovetop. Not like a candied caramel that you get from the store or in like your trick or treat bags or whatever. Why is my elbow is suddenly like wet? I must have dripped water on that spot on my desk when I was sipping it. But there's almost like a fresh, like you're melting down that brown sugar to make your own caramel at home kind of note to it. I do that at Christmas time, so that might be why I pick up on it, to make Christmas crack, which is amazing. But yeah, this is really, really good. It is still going in our bathroom. It is probably about time to change those out. I'm starting to notice that it's a little bit faint for me, and I'm like having to double check it, which tells me that it's time to get new pods. So let's see, what else do we got? We surprisingly have a bar of ocean. Like I think it was cleaning, and I feel like I literally just said I was kind of oceaned out, but I think I was cleaning that day and I just popped it in. Like I wanted fresh and clean through the whole house. I had done all the floors. I had picked everything up, put everything away, and I just like, I wanted clean. We're gonna put these together here. I gotta find the missing piece. Let's see. Oh, let's talk one of the most amazing mixtures ever. Pumpkin peanut butter bread. Hands down, it's a pumpkin peanut butter bread. That's the way I like to eat my pumpkin bread. Pumpkin roll and graham cracker crunch. You guys. Okay, 1 cube to 1 cube, alternating warmers. Because if you put pumpkin roll in the same warmer with the graham cracker crunch, it's going to drown out that peanut butter. I like my peanut butter strong. So pumpkin roll is a really nice, it's like a pumpkin, it's pumpkin bread. That's really what it is. It's pumpkin bread without any icing. So, you know, pumpkin cinnamon swirl has that like super sugary sweet like icing note to it. Pumpkin roll is strictly like fresh baked pumpkin bread. And it's so good. But mixed with graham cracker crunch, out of this world. It was so good. Pumpkin peanut butter bread all day. It was making me hungry. It was so good. Like, I will do this mixture again and again and again because it's wonderful. It is wonderful. Based on that combination alone, pumpkin roll will be going into my club. I have a feeling, or at least I guess I'm hoping, beyond hope, that they will carry through graham cracker crunch into the next catalog because it's so popular. And I'm obsessed with it, let's be honest. Like, a peanut butter fragrance in my house is to die for. So, pumpkin roll will make it into my club just in case. I did do a bar of caramel apple craze. I know that I did that on this side. So, like, I try to keep, like, the sweeter, like, food scents on this side of the house. Like, it mind tricks me if I put too much food in the back rooms. The caramel apple craze here in this space just feels like appropriate. Like when you walk in, it smells like, I mean, because you walk into my kitchen, like our garage door is right here. And we have a front door. We don't ever use it, to be honest with you, because our driveway comes around just to the garage. And then like you've got this weird wonky path or whatever up to the front of the house. But it's so good. So I keep the food scents kind of like here because it makes sense. Let's see, we got a bar. I probably paired this with Ocean, a bar by the sea, or maybe I had a couple cubes left of this. This again is a really nice, fresh, clean aquatic. I think I had this one going in the big room, honestly, when I was doing Ocean. But really nice. Whenever I do like a big clean of the house, I tend to do that. Like, I don't want heavy scents after I've done all of the cleaning. I want my house to smell as fresh as it looks. Because the looking fresh is only going to last maybe an hour if I'm lucky, usually like 15 minutes with the kids. So like I want to enjoy the fresh smell that's not going to, you know, match up to how clean the house is in 15 minutes later. So let's see. I know I did this one upstairs. It was a bar of Scarlet Sunflower. This is really pretty. It's just like a really pretty, nice transitional fruity scent. So, like, while things are getting cooler here, they're not quite, like, staying cold. I mean, Mother Nature is having bipolar disorder this month, or this last month. Like, one day it's 90, the next day it's 60, then it's 80, and tomorrow's going to be 70-something. I mean, like, she's completely off her rocker this year. So, I've been, I guess, more weather appropriately melting for the last 30 days, and on one of the hot spells, like, I didn't want to go like summer fruity, but I didn't want something like heavy, like chilly fall kind of scent. So Scarlet Sunflower is a good one for that. I think, I'm trying to figure, like I got a bar of toasted marshmallow. I never melt toasted marshmallow on its own. So I'm trying to remember what I melted it with. I think it was around the campfire. Like around the campfire really ramps up the toasted for me and toasted marshmallow. But like toasted marshmallow is extremely versatile. It matches with everything. I just don't like it on its own. But because it's such a versatile mixer, for me, I pair it with all kinds of things. And then around the campfire, it's so good. Like I want it to get really good and cold so I can go completely nutso with around the campfire through the whole house. I guess I really don't need it to be cold for that, but like I feel like fall bonfires and like I want to feel it. I want to feel it and not just smell it and be like, oh, campfire on a 90-degree day. I'm kind of holding off for a moment. I'm going crazy on those. Okay, so there's the other bar of Fairy Tale Pumpkin. Like I said, I don't hate it. I don't. But I don't love it either. I'm somewhere like smack dab in the middle. Like melting it doesn't bother me. But I'm not super excited about it either. So it is what it is. Okay, so there's the other one that I was looking for. In that, we'll leave that one for last. I did do a bar of pumpkin roll all by itself. And this was before I got the idea to mix it with the graham cracker crunch. And pumpkin roll is just it's a really nice pumpkin bread. It is a little bit heavier on the spice than I tend to like, which is probably why I was looking for a mixer for it. And graham cracker crunch delivered. So I went through a bulb. Nothing exciting there. Went through another bulb, so a mini warmer bulb. Nothing exciting there. I mean, I don't go through a lot of bulbs, which is nice. I mean, our bulbs last for a good long time. But, you know, occasionally, I mean, I've had warmers going for over a year. Eventually, one of them is going to blow out. Or at least this mass quantity of warmers. Let's put it that way. I've had warmers in my house for a long time. I did a bar of plum and white woods. This one is in my Scentsy Club. I love this bar so much. It's so good. That sweet, rich, deep plum with that little hint of woods in the background. It's like the perfect balance. I do love this in the kitchen. I love it in the big room. Like, I love it in all the spaces. It's so good. I would do it through the whole house, except for the fact that I only have one bar in my club, and I can never save it. So, I get it, and I've got to melt it, and that's just the way that it is. Let's see, we went through, I think it was just a couple cubes of Coastal Sunset that I had left. Again, the partial bars bug me. So I put this into the background, but I can't remember when, to be honest with you. It had to be like at the beginning of October, so it's probably been about a month since I've done one of these. It's just beautiful. It's this driftwood, it's coconut and driftwood, and it's awesome. It's so good. Okay, we got another. I could have sworn there was two. There should be two pods in there. This is Pink Haze. I think Nuggy was messing around with this, but okay. So Pink Haze on even in the clamshell, it almost smells kind of like a rubber band to me in here. But when I put this into the wall fan diffuser, knock my socks off good. Like, I walked in the bathroom and I was like, what is it? Like, I forgot what I put in. And I kept like I wanted to keep sniffing it more. Like, I was standing over the fan diffuser, like, give me all the Pink Haze that you can. And this, it smells like a rubber band. But blowing, oh my God, it's like this really unique berry combination. I do believe this is coming back in January. I have to double check, but I'm pretty positive it's coming back in January for the Bring Back My Bars. And I'm super excited to try this out in wax. Because, like I said, when the pods were going, it was amazing. I would do that again all day long. We have a bar of Now and Zen. Just making sure I didn't mix it with anything. You know what I bet I did? I bet I did Ocean with Now and Zen. I know this was like a partial bar where I just had a few cubes. Oh no, I put this in the girls' room. That's what it is. I got done cleaning the girls' room and like putting away all their clothes, picking up all the toys, doing all the vacuuming. And like the girls only have 2 warmers, and I don't necessarily put the same fragrance throughout the whole upstairs. Like the girls have their own space. And I usually do a different scent from what I'm doing in my master for them. So I did put Now and Zen in their room on a cleaning day, just to give it a nice, clean, uplifting, fresh, clean the air kind of fragrance. Very good. I did a bar of Bonfire Beach upstairs, and kind of like Cranberry Garland, I feel like I wasted it. We don't spend a lot of time in our room. Like, you know what? Our kids are little. We live in our main space, like here. I really only go up there at bedtime or to put away laundry. So, you know, or the 1,001 trips upstairs to get the kids new clothes or whatever the case may be, because Elena likes to wear her food. But this is like Bonfire Beach has my heart. I love this bar. It's amazing. But yeah, upstairs in the bed, like it will only go through the main space from here on out, because if I've got Bonfire Beach going and it is a light performer, I want to smell it everywhere. Just everywhere. I don't want to miss out on it while I've got it going. So that will come back downstairs. Another bar for the kitchen, which is blueberry cheesecake. I do love this. I don't love it on cold. I'm gonna be honest with you. On cold, it's just a little funky, but warming it's fabulous. I love it in the kitchen. It's so good. It's a perfect kitchen scent. It just is. Okay, and then we have 2 bars left in here. This is last but not least, clearly. These were not mixed. Okay, these were not mixed. I did a bar of vanilla mint. I do really like the minty fragrances upstairs in our room where we're going to bed at night. Like, I don't feel like I wasted vanilla mint. Although I will say vanilla mint would probably do fabulous on the main level. It's a really, really good performer. But I like mint to fall asleep to. So like this is a very calming, soothing, relaxing, like sweet dreams kind of bar for me. It like helps open up your airways, and it makes me sleep really good. It does. Vanilla mint helps me sleep really good. And last is Slay All Day. So this is in the clearance section. It still was when I last looked, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off still all this week. Like James had his follow-up appointment this morning, and we had to go pick up Lexi's car because, you know, the trans had gone out a few months back, like right before she was leaving for school. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it right now. You're leaving for school. You're not going to be home. But, you know, we didn't want it to continue to just sit in the driveway. So, you know, we did suck it up and finally get it fixed. So I had to pick that up today. Like I said, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off this week. It's crazy. Or last 2 weeks, last month. I don't know, since the kids started school, I feel like my head is not entirely screwed on tight. Okay, so last bar, Slay All Day. So I did pick this up out of the clearance section. It's so good. It's so stinking good. I bought a first wave. I've already purchased a second wave. And if it sits there too much longer, I'm going to get a third wave. So if nobody else wants Slay All Day, I totally do. This is so good. And like, I had it going in the bedroom, and it lasts a good solid 3 days. And every time James would go up there, it'd be like, I just love this. I just love this. Whatever this is, I absolutely love it. I'm like, it's the same thing as yesterday, but we love it. We absolutely love it. Let me check on that for you. Now, I mean, I probably should discourage you. You don't want Slay All Day. Let me buy all the Slay All Day because it's so stinking good. But I would be doing you a disservice. Why are you being stupid, mister? There we go. Because I'm using it. I can use the touchscreen. Let's see. Oh, Bailey the Bunny sold out. Yeah, I didn't check the clearance today. Honestly, I'm shocked she lasted as long as she did. She is the softest stinking buddy we've ever had. She's awesome. I'm Snow Over It is still there. I don't remember being pressed by I'm Snow Over It. I think it was like a super, super light performer. We still have Snow Kissed Cranberry, you guys. Get your Snow Kissed Cranberry. And then we do still have some Slay All Day. And just a little side note, like this one does not have the fragrance categories. The newest set of bars that I got have the fragrance categories. So this is Snow Kissed Mint, Juniper, and Crisp Mountain Air. It's so good. This is not like an overwhelming minty. So I guess it's kind of like a minty floral, but it's got that like fresh woodsy, whatever. It's such a unique combination. It reminds me, it's like the Christmas version of Summer Holiday. Like, it's amazing, but you don't know why. And you can't pick out the individual scents. Like, it goes together so good. So it is still there. And now that I've told you guys about it, I probably have to go again and get another 12 bars of it before it gets all bought up. So that is everything that I've gotten through. I honestly, it's probably been a month. And I feel like I keep this whole week I'm like, I gotta sit down and do my video. I gotta sit down and do my video. And like, I don't know, life ate me alive. That's just really what it comes down to. Life ate me alive. Oh, I almost missed my side stack. Let's backtrack like half a second here. Let's talk some harvest items. And I also set my oils aside. See, I told you guys, my brain is fried. Just straight fried. I am so glad tomorrow is Friday. I'm so glad Haley does not have preschool tomorrow because I am not setting my alarm. End of. That's just all there is to it. Okay, so Harvest 3-pack bundle. We're going to go back to kind of a womp womp situation. Now I'm throwing things. We're going to go back to a really not overly impressed situation. Okay, let's start with the first one. Cranberry pumpkin spice, right? I'm sorry. I am not spice. It doesn't jive well for me. It just, like, I walk in a room and I can taste it. And I don't want to taste my wax. I want to smell my wax. I don't want to taste my wax. This one was so heavy and so thick in the air that I'm like, I need a drink. I gotta wash that smell out of my mouth. That's just like, and I know I'm the oddball out because people, like, I've watched other videos and I'm trying to catch up on some of my YouTube. Like, I'm super behind on watching my videos too because like you would think as I'm sitting in the emergency room with my husband for 14 hours and he's sleeping because he's on painkillers, right? That I would be watching videos, but I don't own headphones. So, like, I don't like, they hurt my ears to get, like, all the earbuds. Like, I am super, super old school. Like, I like the old Sony padded, like, give me some fluff on the outside of my head kind of things. And, like, earbuds hurt my ears. So I just, like, I don't own a pair. And to be quite frank, I'm never anywhere where I would require using them per se because we drive everywhere. And I don't watch, like, I prefer to read at the end of the day. Like, I do a lot of my YouTube watching. Like, if I'm doing dishes, I will pop on a YouTube video and set it up on my windowsill while I'm doing my dishes. Or, you know, I'm kind of chilling out on the couch because I don't watch a bunch of TV. You know, at night I'll unwind and watch a YouTube video. But I don't need to put headphones in for that. So, you know, I'm super behind on that too, you guys. I'm slowly getting through it. And I go through one at a time with my checklist because if I skip past a notification, there's a good chance that I'm going to miss watching it. So I have to go in order. It's part of my OCD. Like, I haven't even gotten any comments on at least the last video, maybe the last 2 videos that I've put up because I have to go, it has to stay in order. I'm a weirdo. So, okay. Anyways, cranberry pumpkin spice. Lots of people love this. I am not one of them. It almost has like a over chewed gum smell. Like, you know how, like, when you've chewed all of the flavor out of gum and it's just kind of like the gum paste. That's what this is to me. Spicy gum paste. I can't. So if you guys love it, that's awesome. I think if maybe they had added more cranberry in it, it would have been better for me. But as it stands, it's a no-go. Orchard, apple, and spice. Now, this is not terrible by any stretch. The apple in this and the cherry, I don't get distinctly cherry, but there is that, like, I get that almost tartness, like a tart apple, but not a green apple, so a tart apple. And I think that cherry is giving it that little tart twist. So while it's beautiful, the spice in it is not too much. It doesn't live long. I got like half a day and I was like, I changed my wax today, right? I know I changed my wax today. And then I had to go over like to my warmer and pick up my dish and sniff it and like swirl it around. And I'm like, okay, it's still sort of faintly there. But then like 30 minutes later, I'm like, I still don't, like, I don't smell it. And I don't think I went nose blind to it. What I find with a lot of the cherry fragrances though, is that they go really, really good. It's solid out of the gate. Super nice performers. And when they're done, they're just done. Something about cherry just dies. Just, just like it just dies. I don't know if maybe it's a lighter fragrance oil and it just burns off quicker or melts off quicker. It's good. If I had it again, I would, like, if individually, I might pick up another bar or two, but with it having to be with that 3-pack, it's no loss to me. It's nice, but it's no loss to me. Good thing we're down to the last bar, because you guys, I'm starting to fall apart. Last bar, toasted acorn and oak. This is really different. It's not bad. Like, I just don't know what to make of it. It's okay. Orchard apple and spice is probably my favorite out of 3. This was not bad, but I feel like it needs, like, it's kind of like a buttery bakery with a wood. Like, you get the nutty note. I think it needs a little bit of sweetness. I think that's what it's missing. Like, it needs some sweetness to it. Like, I almost wonder if you could mix that cranberry pumpkin spice and maybe, like, the oak will tone down that super heavy spice. But I wasn't impressed enough with it to purchase it again to find out. Let's put it that way. I don't want to just buy bars to mix them unless it's an amazing mixture like pumpkin roll and graham cracker crunch. I mean, if it like blows my mind, it's so good and I want to like lick it out of the dish, I will do that again. Not so much of those. Okay. And last, and then I promise I will let you guys go, is the Harvest Oil 3-pack. I have been doing some serious damage on the Harvest Oil 3-pack. My favorite, oh my gosh, my favorite is that Golden Pear Nectar. It is insane. Like, I want more of it. I could bathe in this. I could do this in a room spray. I could do this in laundry. Like, I want this in lots more things. This pear, this golden pear is so pretty. It's so pretty. It's just so bright and beautiful. And like I said, I could just like douse myself in this head to toe. This would make an amazing, like, everything. So I'm already through half my bottle I'm already through half the bottle. I did pick up an extra set. Let's see. Next one up is the Caramel Apple Crumble. This is so good. This is really, really nice. I do like the caramel in this. It's not, I mean, again, it's a candied caramel, but it's a different, like, twist on the candied caramel. Almost like toffee-like, I guess. Where it's got that little bit of extra, you know how, like, toffee is kind of more cooked? Is that the way to put it? Is that the best way to put it? Toffee's more cooked than, like, a soft caramel chew. And it's got more of, like, that toffee kind of caramel to me. But it's amazing. It is amazing on its own. And then the last one in there is Pumpkin Cinnamon Twist. You probably already know how I feel about Pumpkin Cinnamon Twist. Too much spice. Way too much spice. Like, the clove in this is crazy. There is a lot of clove in this. Like, this is one of those times, like, I wish there was more cinnamon. Because it might drown out the clove a little bit better. So by itself, I'm not a fan, but mixed with the Golden Pear Nectar, these two together, these are very, very good. So the Golden Pear Nectar sweetens this up for me just the right amount to make this enjoyable, to where, like, like, you can smell the pumpkin in the background, but like I said, that clove in this one is really super strong. And it is very distinctly clove because it's got almost like this bitter kind of thing going on. And clove is extremely bitter to me, but it's very good mixed with the pear crisp. It's also good with the caramel apple crumble, but I will say that I like the balance better with the pear. Because that sweetness, again, like, this is a very, very nice caramel fragrance. And it does mesh well. I will say it does mesh well. But the better combo for me is the pear. Just because that clove in that is so heavy that bringing in that bright zing and like fruity, uplifting pear just does it. Like this is still a deeper scent for me. It's delicious. But it's still definitely a deeper scent for me. So that is everything, you guys. We got through like a month's worth of empties, hence why this video is insanely long again. But, you know, like I said, I know I've been gone. I am getting everything back on track now that we've, you know, got James on the right track, and he's on the mend. He's on all the right medications. They are following up with him on a regular basis to make sure. I mean, like, we're a week later. He had his follow-up today. They already scheduled his next follow-up in 2 weeks. So, like, this new doctor is on top of his game. He is going to be our new doctor. So, you know, he's doing a really good job. And I'm just, like, I'm super, super happy to see that my husband is not, like, I mean, and like I said, it wasn't extreme until last week. And then all of a sudden it went from, like, a 3, like, constant nagging, aching discomfort to just crunching in on himself and scaring the ever-living daylights out of me. So we are doing good now. So like I said, I'm trying to get back into kind of a bit of swing of things and get a little more consistent. You know, consistency is very important to me. So I'm going to stop rambling now. And if you have made it to this point, thank you so much for hanging with me. I love you guys. You seriously, you mean the world to me. So thank you very much, and you have a great night.